The biggest event in Combate America's history, coming to McAllen, Texas, December the 7th at the Payne Arena, and you can see it live on pay-per-view, so check your local listings. It's going to be a tremendous card. And of course, the main event, Tito Ortiz, a UFC Hall of Famer, facing a former WWE champion in Alberto Patron, two titans when it comes to combat sports. And now I'm joined by Alberto El Patron, who will be getting... This has been consuming you. You have been preparing for this fight. You look great. You look like you're ready to fight. How are the preparations been going?
I'm ready to fight. We still have a few more weeks to go, but I'm feeling fantastic. I started training a little bit over a year ago. These days I'm training in Phoenix, Arizona. Some people know this. I live in San Antonio, Texas. That's where it's home for me. But I moved from San Antonio, Texas to Phoenix, Arizona to train with the best ones in the planet. People like Javier Torres, CV Dollaway, Ryan Bader, and many others. Gyms or dojos around the area are helping me because they want me to kick Tito's trasero. Places like the MMA Lab and many other places.
Tito Ortiz, you could argue, is the biggest name in mixed martial arts history. You wanted this fight. Why did you want Tito?
Well, he's one of the biggest names in MMA. I know he's a fantastic fighter. He's a legend. He's a Hall of Famer. He's one of the best ones, but there's others. Yeah. But Tito Ortiz is the perfect matchup for me. He's Mexican-American. He's a legend. He is a tough fighter. We're pretty much the same age. We are athletes. He's a fantastic fighter, but I've been a fighter my entire life. Like a lot of people, they just see me as this pro wrestler, but they don't really know me. They don't know my background. I started many years back with amateur wrestling. I represented Mexico in the entire planet. Central American Games, Pan American Games, national championships, many, hundreds of tournaments here in the United States. And I was part of the national team. Tito cannot say that.
Some people know this, maybe not all of them, that you had a successful MMA career. You were in Japan. You wore a mask sometimes in honor of your background, but people don't know that. I think they see this as a wrestler versus a mixed martial artist, but you have that in your bag.
I was one of the first ones. I was one of the pioneers of the sport in my country, in Mexico. When only a few people knew about MMA, I was already fighting in Japan. I made my career, my name in MMA in Japan while Tito was fighting here for the UFC, and UFC was not what it is today. Back then, Pride, the organization where I used to fight, was the #1 in the planet. Everybody wanted to go to Pride. Everybody wanted to go to Japan.
It's a small group that have recently come from the WWE who fought in UFC or in MMA. But there is people looking down from, say, the UFC to WWE. What do they need to know about how tough it is to be a pro wrestler, whether it's in WWE, whether it's in Mexico? What don't they know that makes guys like you as tough as the guys you would see there?
Pro wrestling is tough. Yes, we do know it's scripted and we know who's gonna win and who's gonna lose, but I mean, you cannot fake gravity. When you fall from a ladder, from the top rope, that hurts, and then that's punishment for your body, and you have to do that every night, every single night. When I was in WWE, there was a year when I did 290 appearances. Wow. That year. I don't remember which year it was, but it was one of those years working for WWE and doing 290 appearances. So you have to be an athlete. It's not like they just find you in the corner and they put you in the ring. Well, I mean, there's been situations when they have found people that way, but that's not the way it is in pro wrestling. We're all athletes, former NFL players, former NBA players, amateur wrestlers, yeah, and so and so.
I'm sure you've heard it. This is what people are talking about this fight on December 7th in McAllen, Texas, available on pay-per-view, so check your local listings. This is what people are saying about you. People are saying you're too old to do this. What do you say?
Well, yes, of course, I'm not in my 20s right now, but I've been an athlete my entire life training, and if you see, they measure the oxygen in your muscles, the oxygen in your body, and how much calories you're burning, and your heartbeat and everything. And everybody has been telling me, this is amazing because your heart rate is so low that if it wasn't because you have been an athlete your entire life, we will be worried. I have always done everything in my life knowing that I'm gonna win. I'm winning this thing. I'm winning this fight. I know I can beat Tito. I am gonna beat Tito on December the 7th. I know there was a lot of people, and I'm saying there was because now the perception is changing.
That you weren't going to win.
That I'm ready for this.
But they weren't saying you weren't going to win. They're saying you're getting to get killed.
Yeah, I heard that too.
That's what they said. This was.
Yeah, I heard that too, but I've been hearing those things my entire life. All these people talking about this and saying, Alberto, you have no chance, you have no opportunities on beating Tito and you're gonna get killed. All I can say to these people is continue saying those things because he's gonna be the one laughing at the end of the night on December the 7th. And they, instead of bringing me down, they're giving me the strength that I need to continue going forward, because for me, the most difficult part is not this, the bruises, the blood, the sweat, the tears. That's not the most difficult part for me. The most difficult part for me is to not be in San Antonio with my children, with my family. I'm used to this. I'm used to wake up every morning, go and kick some trasero or get my trasero kicked 2-3 times a day. I've been doing this my entire life. Yes, I've been fighting since I remember. I come from a place where you have to fight, literally fight to survive. I come from Mexico. There's no easy roads in Mexico. There's no magic formulas in Mexico to get to that place where you want to get in this life. If you want to be somebody coming from Mexico, you have to bust your trasero, knock those doors down, and not demand an opportunity. Take that opportunity.
What do you say to the people who say you're doing it for the money?
You go and see where I live and my collection of cars, and that question came also from my dad. My father, the legendary Dos Caras, has been my mentor. The reason why I wanted to become a wrestler, pro wrestler, and an athlete. And he came to me 7-8 months ago, and he said, boy, I want to talk to you, muchacho, come here. Let's talk about this. I want to know why you're doing this. I want to know if you are doing this for the right reasons. I'm not against you doing this, but I want to know that you're doing this for the right reasons. And my answer was, yes, I'm doing this for the right reasons. And he was like, why? Because you don't have nothing, you have nothing to prove to the world. And I said, yes, that I know I don't have anything to prove to the world. I have something to prove to myself. I have to prove to myself that I'm still that great athlete, that great man, that great father, that man that has been inspiring people from my country and other places. I want to continue leading with the example and showing these new generations that if you want to be somebody, you have to work hard every single day of your life.
Some people have good relationship with their father, some not, but it seems like you certainly do.
Yeah, no, my father is my best friend. I grew up in the pro wrestling business. I'm a third-generation wrestler. My grandfather, my father, my uncles, my cousins, myself. I remember being a little boy and my dad always telling me things like, I'm gonna be your best friend for the rest of your life because you're gonna grow up and you're gonna have friends being with you just because of what you have and not for who you are. But me, regardless of whatever, right or wrong, I'm always gonna be there for you. I'm gonna be your best friend till the end of the days. Every single important decision that I have made in my life, I always go to my dad.
When you look at the location, McAllen, Texas, it's South Texas. This is gonna be a big event down there. Why is it the right place to have this fight?
I think it's the right place because you're talking about two athletes, both of them Mexican-Americans. We're representing Mexico, we're representing America. And I'm saying we because I am an American citizen. I got the privilege of becoming an American citizen back in May, the day of my birthday. I also got the privilege of being the one giving a speech for all those other, all that other people getting their certificates that day. And it was a really special day for my family, for me, for everybody. So we're both fighting for one country and the other, representing Mexicans, representing Americans, but I am the one representing those with a dream of future, providing your family with a better future, giving to your family what you always dreamed to have. I always say this everywhere I go. I was born in Mexico. I'm proud to be Mexican. I'm proud to be brown. I was born in Mexico, but made in America.
Tito Ortiz is a very proud Mexican American, and he would come out to the fights with both flags in his fighting career.
Yes, he used to come out with the Mexican flag, Mexican and American flag, but then he contradicts himself with his comments and supporting laws or people that are against Latinos coming into America. That's the part where it doesn't match. You know you are Tito Ortiz because one day, many years back, someone in your family decided to come to America. Why you want to deny that American dream to others? One time he said to me, it was just, you don't think we need to protect America? And my answer was, yes, of course we have to protect America, but by doing what you want your president or our president to do, you're just gonna keep the good ones outside. The bad ones, they're gonna continue coming. They're gonna find the way. They have everything. They have the money. They have the resources. We, the good people, they are the ones that are not gonna have the opportunity that you had, that your family gave you, that the opportunity that I'm giving to my children to be somebody in the future.
Do you think that perception may change after his journey?
Well, I think Tito has his beliefs. I have my beliefs, and I respect a lot of things from Tito. But when it comes to have him wearing that hat and talking about the wall and keeping Mexicans, Latinos out of America, I will always disagree with them. This fight is gonna be about what side are you on, and it's not just about a Mexican American, one born in America with the other one born in Mexico, but also pro wrestling and MMA fans, Tito and Alberto.
There's a lot of lines crossing.
It's a lot of lines crossing, and at the end of the day, of course, our audience are gonna decide who you're gonna be rooting for. I'm 100% sure that all the Latinos, Mexicans are supporting me, and I'm talking about all of those in Mexico, in Latin America.
If you win this fight, say you win it.
I know where you're going, Max. I know, I know where you're trying to take
Does this MMA career continue? Is this with all the work you put in? You put in the work.
I don't think so, but that's why they always say never. Like everything else, it depends on what happens that day and how many people gets what we're trying to do. We're trying to tell people that you have to work hard, that it doesn't matter what side are you on. At the end of the day, you're gonna be watching this because you know we are two athletes, two men that have worked really, really hard their entire life to get where they are in this world.
Two amazing journeys.
Two amazing journeys, yes. That's the perfect way to put it.
You have a chance. You will be face-to-face with Tito Ortiz soon enough. But if you have a chance, imagine that camera was Tito Ortiz.
Well, to start
ahead of the fight, what would you tell him?
Well, if that camera was Tito Ortiz, the head needs to be like this big, right? But Tito, continue thinking the way you're thinking. Continue saying the stuff you're saying because you're making it stronger. All the stupid things that you've been saying about knocking me out in the first round, they're not even making me mad. They're just making me stronger, faster, better. See you on December the 17th. Better.
Not much more to say about that. December 7th, McAllen, Texas. You can see Tito versus Alberto on pay-per-view. You do not want to miss this.
Tito versus Alberto, available on pay-per-view.